You're watching ABC10 Plus Tonight.
Hello, I'm Laura Painter. You're watching ABC10 Plus Tonight. Sacramento Kings and their fans take over Golden One Center for the season opener with hopes to light the beam. And a Sacramento business owner is fed up with a nearby homeless encampment, what they want done. Then, dozens of people arrested, thousands of dollars, drugs, and guns taken off the streets in one of the largest operations in San Joaquin County. ABC10 Plus Tonight starts right now. So between all the restaurants and watch bars, businesses in Doco are hoping to cash in on the Kings fandom. ABC10's Devin Truby joins us live from Doco in the thick of all the action. I love your jersey. How's it looking out there? How are the fans pumped? I bet they are.
Oh, Laura, they are so excited. I mean, you can take a look. People are already starting to line up at security, itching to be the first fans in. And whether you have a ticket or not, there is plenty to do to come down to Doco. Businesses have those deals and specials, hoping to attract fans and big business. The Sacramento Kings' first regular season home game is not only a start to the season, but a kickstart for businesses in the area.
Traffic downtown more than doubles on event days at Golden One Center, so it really does have a significant impact. The Golden One Center recently announced as the #1 NBA venue in the entire country by ESPN.
According to the Downtown Sacramento Partnership, the Golden One Center provides more than 2,000 jobs, $600 million in direct economic impact.
About half the people who buy a ticket and go to an event at Golden One Center come from a distance 30 miles or further outside of the city center. So when we talk about these are bringing outside dollars into the local economy.
It's why the Downtown Commons is offering fan-spirited specials to attract those with or without a ticket to the Kings game. The Clayton Club and 7th Street Standard offering 20% off if you're wearing Kings gear. Bars like Fizz Champagne, Polanco, Willow, Revival bringing back their Kings-themed cocktails. Tom's Watch Bar has a special tailgating area open for the first home game.
Huge difference. Normal day, probably could see us doing, 600 to 700 covers. Today we're going to see probably over 1,000 to closer to 1,500.
Businesses bringing back promotions they had success with last year or specials during playoff times. True Encompass Beauty is helping fans feel the roar with purple lips and hair.
So it helps just to get people in our door to tell them about what we offer, and that way they can come see us in the future. Now, the Downtown Partnership says they've seen a steady increase year to year, about 5% of activity here at Doco. So whether you've got a ticket or not, come on down. Still plenty of time before tip-off at 7 p.m. and certainly plenty to do. Reporting live in Doco, Devin Truby, ABC 10. Chris,
yeah,
Laura.
Lots to choose from, Devin. Thank you.
We know solutions to the homelessness crisis are complicated, costly, and slow going. Advocates say that they are doing the work and they know more needs to be done. Others are just fed up with the issues that they see on our streets. ABC 10's Becca Hobbecker followed up with a Sacramento business owner who says that he's not seeing enough change.
We first met Mike Sacca back in April. He owns Golden Corral on West Stockton Boulevard in Sacramento. At the time, he said people in a nearby encampment were leaving trash, causing vandalism and intimidating customers.
They spray paint the building, they've broken windows. This is an ongoing daily thing for us.
After our story aired, he said the camp was cleared, but people and issues have returned.
This pipe here used to connect down to this pipe, 1.5-inch copper piping. This feeds our irrigation.
This week, Sacca found the pipe cut. Recently, he arrived at work to find the windows of his restaurant's vehicle shattered, a $2,500 repair. He says this RV had been trespassing on his property, and police just moved it onto the neighboring property. These tents line the fence near his restaurant.
I've tried to reach out to 311.
As the city tells people to do when reporting non-emergency homeless encampment issues.
I've been sending in the emails and making the phone calls, but I don't get any response.
The city tells ABC 10 they have responded to his reports. Since August 1st, the city's incident management team has responded to 59 calls for service in this area made through 311 on 18 different days. Response efforts have included outreach to connect people experiencing homelessness with available services, as well as achieving compliance with city laws and ordinances. They say the city has removed 31 cubic yards of solid waste from the area, though that could include the areas near but not adjacent to Sacca's property.
It isn't an overnight fix. service.
Kate Paulson is with Sacramento County's Homeless Engagement and Response Team, or HEART. The team does mental health outreach to the unhoused population through Sacramento's city-county partnership, including at the encampment near Golden Corral.
We visited that area 10 times between March and May, and it is an area still on the radar.
Paulson says her team has 40 behavioral health beds and hopes to add more, but with no timeline, some see the pace as too slow.
It's not just housing, it's not just mental health, it's not just substance use, it's all of those things combined.
Becca Hobiger, ABC 10.
The city says it responds daily to 311 calls in all 8 council districts of Sacramento. And so far this year, the incident management team has responded to more than 30,000 calls for service.
Meanwhile, an operation targeting gangs and violence in Stockton led to more than 70 arrests and dozens of guns being taken off the streets.
Stockton police just made the announcement today. ABC 10's Gabriel Porras was there and has the details now.
The press conference took place here at the Stockton Police Department's administration building, and despite law enforcement officials opening themselves up to questions, many questions were left on the table.
If violence is brought to our neighborhoods, there will be accountability.
San Joaquin County law enforcement leaders gathered Thursday to hear and see the results of what Stockton's police chief calls Operation Boogeyman.
It specifically targeted some of our most violent street gangs, which were responsible for homicides and several shootings throughout the county.
But which gangs and cases?
I'm not going to give them the honor or space to acknowledge those gangs, but they know.
The chief also declining to detail the timeline when the operation began. He did say that $65,000, narcotics, 36 handguns, 14 rifles, and 1 shotgun were seized, and that officers made 74 arrests, but would not elaborate on the specific charges they face.
Every gun seized from the street saves a life. Operation Boogeyman is one of the largest gun violence intervention operations in our county's history and perhaps the state.
Stockton City Manager echoing that pride.
We are winning. Crime is on the decline in Stockton, and it is not by accident.
Overall crime down by 12% in the first 9 months of 2024, according to city numbers. And for those who don't feel that decline in violence, Chief McFadden making a promise.
Our work will never be done until the victimization stops.
In Stockton, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
And prosecutors aren't wasting any time. They say some of the arraignments for the suspects have already started. Tonight, we're hearing new details in the trial of the man dubbed the Cloverleaf Rapist after a series of sexual assaults in Sacramento County.
ABC 10's Roxanne Elias was inside the courtroom today to listen to the testimony.
The trial against J.D. Wallace Simeon has been going on for days now. On Thursday, prosecutors presented how they were able to get DNA evidence. Simeon was arrested back in November of 2021 for a series of sexual assaults in northern Sacramento that happened between 2013 and 2014. During the investigation, the Sacramento County District Attorney's Office said the suspect was referred as the Cloverleaf Rapist because many of the assaults happened near freeway entrances and exits, resembling a cloverleaf pattern. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Office used investigative genetic genealogy.
So there's 2 basic types of hits that you might get in CODIS. You might hit to an individual or person that's in the CODIS database. You might also hit to another evidence sample from another case that's been uploaded into CODIS. And in this case, I got a hit to another case, not a person.
In court on Thursday, Simeon's attorney called in Kanaya Myers, a friend of 15 years.
I have never seen him act in any kind of aggressive, sexual manner with me, and I've been with him by myself at my home. So that's a perfect opportunity to kind of switch the flip, I guess, as far as if you wanted to pretend to be somebody or not.
In Sacramento, Roxanne Elias, ABC 10.
Now, the prosecutor says Simeon is charged with kidnapping and sexual assault of 2 victims. For the 3rd victim, he's charged with assault with an attempt to commit sexual battery.
And it has been a decade since Sacramento County Sheriff's Deputy Danny Oliver was killed in the line of duty. Today, his life was honored by the Sheriff's Office to ensure that he is never forgotten. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen shares with us this special dedication.
Deputy Danny Oliver lost his life in October 2014 when he was shot and killed while attempting to pull over Luis Bracamontes, leading to an hours-long rampage through Sacramento and Placer counties. Michael Davis, a Placer County Sheriff's detective, was also killed. Now, 10 years later, the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office dedicated a community room in honor of Oliver.
Many of our officers are new and don't know who he is, so we're not only carrying on his legacy for those that were here and experienced it, but we're also teaching it to a new generation.
Oliver's daughter says it's amazing to see the continuing support of her father.
He loved his job, he loved helping people, and he liked getting the worst criminals off the road.
Bracamontes was sentenced to death, but in May, all death row inmates were transferred to other prisons across the state, following the governor's moratorium on the death penalty in 2019. Prop 66 also allows the transfer of condemned inmates to any state prison. Bracamontes is currently serving his sentence at the California Medical Facility in Vacaville. In Sacramento, Jeannie Nguyen, ABC 10.
Let's bring in Carly now to talk about the weather and some changes that might be coming our way.
As people leave the game tonight, the King Center might need a light jacket, huh?
Yeah, we are starting to look at some chillier temperatures, especially in the overnight hours. We do expect to start hitting those 40s overnight. Some changes coming to the forecast for the weekend and the Sierra specifically, with a weather impact alert for us from Sunday to Monday in the Sierra for potential high elevation snow chances. But right now in the Big Mountain backyard, we're looking at temperatures in the mid 70s for the valley. Such a nice day outside, almost perfect conditions, mid 50s in Tahoe. But again, overnight, we're looking at temperatures dropping down into the upper 40s and mid 40s across our region. With our weather headlines, a normal fall temperature day today, as well as moving into our weekend. Normal this time of year is right around 76 to 78 degrees. In the Sierra, we are looking at snow chances, and for the valley, we do have a slight chance for some showers to arrive on Sunday, potentially into Monday, but right now it's about a 30% chance north of I-80. But for the Sierra, that snow chance is pretty high, especially above 6,000 feet. We are looking at major cooling coming in next week as temperatures drop from the mid 70s to the mid 60s. Now, high pressure is currently in place right now, pushing a low pressure system up and over us as we start moving into the weekend. But we may see this, a trough beginning to approach us as we start moving into our Sunday. It starts moving in Sunday to Monday, bringing us a chance of showers again, especially for the Sierra with high elevation snow, and that slight chance again north of I-80 as we move from Sunday to Monday. And after that, we're pretty much getting that nice zonal flow coming in with consistent temperatures in those upper 60s. Now, as we take a look at our weather pattern into our Friday, maybe a few clouds overhead, otherwise mostly sunny skies. Again, that slight chance of showers north of 80 there. And then finally, as we get into Monday, we do see a chance of Sierra snow potentially starting to move in from Monday afternoon. Just take a look at how widespread that may be at the highest elevations there and clearing out for us as we start getting into Tuesday. Winds are starting to become more light to calm, and as we start moving into our Sunday, that transition happening as that cold front begins to arrive, a sweep comes in, and we start to look at some of the winds beginning to increase for us, about 10 to maybe 15 miles per hour. Otherwise, much stronger for us as well, though, in the Sierra, 15 to potentially 30 mile per hour wind gusts. Now, looking at our temperatures for those foothill spots, upper 70s to low 80s expected, overnight lows in the upper 40s. Bay Area, we're looking at temperatures in those mid 70s to low 80s. As we move into our valley spots here for your Friday, do expect temps again in the upper 70s to low 80s. So still a pretty nice day ahead for your Friday and Saturday. But again, some big changes start coming as we transition into Sunday. We look at a potential chance for showers, but still partly sunny skies, mid 70s. And then we continue to see a cooling trend. As we move into next week, expect those mid to upper 60s expected. Mostly sunny skies, but check out the overnight lows, dropping as low as even 42 degrees as we start moving into Friday and Saturday of next week. So pretty chilly now overnight.
This October has been filled with everything. We had the triple digits to start off with, and now you're tracking Sierra snow.
And pretty chilly for Halloween next Thursday, too, huh?
Pretty big transition. So we'll wait to see exactly what happens on Halloween. But at this point in time, it's looking a little colder. So
okay. All right, Carly, thank you.
Over the past several months, the ABC10 Weather Impact Team has traveled across California, uncovering why some of the state's most popular lakes are dying. Warming temperatures and a changing climate are giving algae and bacteria the upper hand. Tonight, ABC10 meteorologist Rob Karlmark joins us with part 4 of this 4-part investigation into California's dying lakes.
Throughout this series, we've seen sobering images of California's beautiful blue lakes turning green, but they are unified on one front: finding a solution. I took a trip to Southern California's largest natural lake, Lake Elsinore, where leaders of the lake are taking the next step and fighting back. Lake Elsinore is a place that has what you would want in a smaller town, a spot to drop in and stay a while. It has a quaint main street with trees that line brick blocks of a downtown with mom and pop shops, a barber shop with an old barber pole, and a classic popular dive bar called The Wreck. Is this still here?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
No
up on the hill.
way. Lake Elsinore's Historical Society says all of this has been keeping people coming and staying since the 1800s. Celebrities like Steve McQueen and the original Dracula, Bela Lugosi, visited often for work and leisure. But the star of the town is the lake. It's the largest natural freshwater lake in Southern California. When the lake turned green with toxic cyanobacteria algae, like in this video from years past, the town turned upside down. Residents demanded that the city and Lake Elsinore's mayor, Steve Manos, fix the issue.
It tends to have this particular problem with cyanobacteria where the algae blooms come about each summer. In past years, it's caused massive fish kills, which then in turn cause other problems and feeds the ongoing annual problem of the algae blooms.
Lakes have different factors that aid algae growth. At Lake Elsinore, treated wastewater adds elements like phosphorus that helps algae grow. Hotter years with drought and warmer shallow water adds to more devastating blooms, like in March of 2023. The lake went through one of its most dangerous outbreaks of toxic green algae. The smell was unpleasant, and it was closed for months. Before the outbreak, the city spent millions of dollars upgrading businesses and boat launches. Those launches weren't used when the lake was closed.
They want to see something done, and no matter how difficult that is, they'd like to go ahead and see us make the effort.
Mayor Manos tasked the city council and others like Adam Guffarati to come up with a plan to save the lake.
We are really pushing hard to make changes now. Our residents deserve this. The region deserves a lake that they can swim in year-round.
The city passed a sweeping lake management plan during the lake's closure, and within months, they had the first pieces of a purification puzzle in place. Among the many things that the city of Lake Elsinore has tried to do in this lake to help the water quality is this floating nano bubbler, and they say they're already getting results. The barge keeps the nano bubbler in place, which emits very tiny bubbles in a test portion of the lake that are suspended in the water column instead of floating up. This process is designed to disrupt the typical lifestyle of algae growth and improve clarity. With the city's test bubbler and Mother Nature bringing rain over the winter, officials saw results within 1 year.
The next image, what you're seeing is actually this year. So you're seeing March 8th of 2024, and these are satellite images of the lake. You can drastically see the difference in color.
In March of 2024, people could see 16 feet under the surface of the lake, and good, healthy algae was growing at the bottom for the first time.
People were posting photos, and other ones were like, that can't be Lake Elsinore.
Mayor Manos says their nano bubbler plan will expand and plans to spend $8 million more on larger nano bubblers.
Redemption, and certainly hope sprung anew. During the springtime, we saw some very clear water and very good results that I believe changed a lot of opinions as to what was possible.
For Lake Elsinore, this is a war on all fronts, and future years will likely be warmer with more droughts. Keeping phosphorus in check will also be a challenge. It's a big problem with no silver bullet, but people here are fighting for this little lake town to live in and save its history.
We all, as humans, deserve a place to swim and enjoy. We need that as part of our life. It's part of our mental health. We need a place to, stretch our legs and swim.
Well, of course, everybody here in Sacramento tonight is excited for the return of Sacramento Kings basketball, but this is just the appetizer to the entree that is Friday Night Football tomorrow night. Of course, we got our game of the week for you, and it features the Highland Scots taking on the defending state champion, Woodland Christian Cardinals.
The defending state champion Woodland Christian Cardinals football team is at it again. They've only lost one game since November of 2023, are currently undefeated in league play, and are on the hunt for another deep run. Even with all their talent, it's the team's bond that sets them apart.
I think we have a lot of brotherhood, like I said, and we're all tight and we all work out together and we all put in the work together. And I mean, we're not the biggest, we're not the strongest, but we come out and we'll hit you hard and we're going to play our hearts out.
Friday night is senior night for the Cardinals, and while they don't expect it to be their last home game together with the playoffs still to come, it's always tough playing your final guaranteed home game, especially with a group this tight.
You know, it's our senior night for us seniors, so just ready to ball out 100%.
They're going to be missed. I'm going to miss these kids. I've just been with them for so many years, and I was just grateful to have them, but it's going to be a good and a sad day.
Standing in Woodland Christian's way, the Highlands High Scots, who have a special bond themselves. Many of the players have been playing on varsity together since their freshman year, and they've already surpassed last year's win total.
Well, we've been battling. This group's been going on for it's the third year now. They've been playing as freshmen on the varsity level, and so they're getting better each year. And so to pass last year's win total was big for us.
Yeah, I'm really proud of this team. I feel like we really developed over the last 3 years since I've been starting freshman year. I really think we've grown. It's rewarding, but I feel like job's not finished. Still got to go out and try to win the league and go to playoffs.
Winning the Sierra Delta League is not out of the question, but they'll have to be the first to defeat Woodland Christian to have a chance. And believe me when I say the Scots are ready.
They should expect a hard fight against them. Fast pace, especially fast pace.
Glass Beach in Fort Bragg, Mendocino County is a wildly popular tourist attraction and the subject of countless social media posts. For years, I thought that was the only glass beach in California, but I was wrong.
Well, it's the former dump site that's turned into a glassy trail. John Bartel here, making a little pit stop at the other glass beach.
If you follow the sounds of seabirds on the Napa River and Bay Trail in the city of American Canyon, you'll find a well-marked walking trail to Glass Beach. The trail's about a mile long and runs along a wetland which is affected by the Napa River and tidal flows from the San Pablo Bay. You'll pass by a series of pipes that allow the water to flow back and forth with the tide.
Glass is everywhere. It's like a football field long or so.
Yeah, it's a good distance.
Jeffrey Freed is the recreational coordinator with the City of American Canyon, and he says Glass Beach's origin story starts back in the 1940s when the area was actually a landfill.
When the landfill was in operation, there was a point where they started separating the glass from the rest of the trash, and they ended up dumping it into a area where there was some tidal influence, and a lot of it got taken out into the Napa River.
Jeff says we're only seeing a portion of the glass dumped here. A lot of it ended up in the Napa River.
Well, if you're wondering how this glass got smooth edges, look no further than the tide behind me. So the rocks kind of tumble along with the glass, and they end up eroding the edges and making it smooth. So it's sort of like the sand is polishing the glass as the water rushes over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not exactly comfortable, but it's not cutting my feet up.
The landfill was closed in 1990, which is about the same time the City of American Canyon was incorporated. Jeff says cleaning up the 300-acre dump and restoring the wetlands was one of the first big projects for the new city.
So underneath the dirt pile there is the old landfill, and it's still producing gases. And they take those gases and then convert it into electricity. Pretty cool, huh?
We have recaptured this area, restored the wetlands, and now it is a place for people to come and see all the natural beauty that the wetlands have to offer.
Today, Glass Beach is a reminder of the harmful and neglectful past of improper waste disposal. It's also a fun way to look for unique glass pieces.
You take some of this glass home with you to collect, or should you leave it here?
You should definitely leave the glass here so that other people can come and enjoy and see all the different glass pieces that are here. Because if everyone takes the glass, eventually Glass Beach would no longer be Glass Beach.
From Glass Beach in American Canyon, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Our fun story of the day. An iconic store in Old Sacramento is celebrating 50 years in business this month.
I probably walked by this store 20 times,
Awesome.
and we're talking about Evangeline's Costume Mansion.
All right, ABC 10's Marcus Allen is there. He is ready to go. And this is, if Halloween's coming up, and if you're looking for anything, you have it at Evangeline's. Look at you.
That's what I'm talking about. 3 floors, over 4,000 square feet, pushing 5,000 square feet. I'm waiting to buy your Jack in the Box. Got to get the register open so I can bring this home to you, Mr. Walt Gray. But I want to see it on Instagram. By the way, Instagram, a big part of Halloween for obvious reasons that I'll get into in a minute. In the meantime, yeah, this started out as this place used to be a little bit of everything. Down below, retail in the 1800s. There were boarders that lived up here, maybe short-time boarders, if you know what I'm saying, back in the 1800s. But then by 1974, it had become a discotheque, and then that's when Evangeline's started. Evangeline's is in the name for a reason. Over here, Deborah Chassé and Jen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, faithful employee and special projects manager, you've been here 30 years. Do you still have joy in the heart?
I do, yes, every day. It's just a fun place to work, and our customers are so happy. They're just having so much fun. It's a great place to work.
1974, 50 years ago, you were a teenager working here, and then you took over about 10 years later. It was a discotheque before, which is appropriate that disco is a big costume right now.
Yeah, it's very convenient for me in my 20s to hang out upstairs on the weekends. It was fun.
It's back. Speaking of which, Jordan, if I'm not mistaken, repeat what I've heard you say. What kind of costume are you looking for this year?
A disco type vibe costume, similar to what she's wearing there.
Then let's go get a disco type vibe. All right. She said she likes what you're wearing. Disco type vibe for Jordan.
All right. Well, I think since Jordan is quite tall, she might look good in something sparkly like this, or something like this.
Perfect. An ensemble. There you go, Jordan. We got you hooked up. And they do take Apple Pay, so I think I can take care of this a little bit later on. All right, Jen, show me something that we haven't seen before. And by the way, you can get lost in here year-round. Every room. Where are we going?
We're going to Storybook Land.
Storybook Land. By the way, you can't run fast in these hills. Ladies, how do you do it? All right.
Okay, so this is Storybook Land. I think the fairy section is pretty special. I think we have so many accessories for fairy.
You say Storybook Land, but I've seen a lot of Disney stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely Disney and Storybook Land. Jack Skellington, of course. Nightmare Before Christmas is super popular.
Oh, look at that his and her. I don't know, Courtney, if you can get a shot over there. Oh my gosh, what would you call that? That's awesome in the back.
Cinderella and the Prince.
There you go. So there's that going on. Deborah, you're saying business is booming right now because of Instagram. What phenomenon has Instagram caused? Which seems obvious, but I hadn't even thought about it until now.
Well, a lot of people, if they're invited to a party, they can't wear the same thing they wore last year. They have to get a new outfit because those pictures already exist. So, and if they're going to 2 parties, of course, 2 different outfits.
Well, it's horrible for you that people have to buy redundant outfits, Deborah. Thanks for all you do year-round to make Sacramento a really cool place.
Hey, thank you, Mark. This has always been a pleasure.
All right, got to wrap it up, Walt. I'll come back for your credit card. I got to buy that jackhead. Back to you. Ooh, Bigfoot.
There is, I mean, it's like the Costco for Halloween, right? I mean, they literally have everything at Evangeline's. Again, that's in Old Sacramento. There it is. Jack Box. Love it. And your outfit, Mark, is exceptional. All right. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks so much for watching ABC 10 Plus Tonight. We're here 24/7 on the free ABC 10 Plus app. You can get your news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Laura Painter. Take care and see you next time.
Only on ABC 10.
I could not personally live without the Fulton El Camino Park Police.
The absence of crime shows that
the police department's being successful.
A local Park Police Department faces an uncertain future.
So you're saying Beth was hired to disband the FEC Park Police?
That's correct.
Employees are raising alarms about how your tax dollars are being spent.
It's incomprehensible to me.
Don't miss this ABC10 special investigation. Watch after Monday Night Football at 10:30 and streaming on ABC10 Plus.